Good morning. My name is Bob Smith, and I have the privilege of serving in a volunteer role as the lead organizer for the Food for Fairness Summit, developing an equitable, sustainable local food system globally. As a retired law enforcement executive, I saw firsthand how challenges brought about by inequitable food systems and resulting hunger deeply afflicted the vulnerable in the communities that I served. That's why supporting organizations that combat food insecurity has always been very important to me and my family. We as a society can and must do much better. And I am hoping that the Food for Fairness Summit is another positive step in that direction. So, a few points to help you maximize the value you receive from your participation during the summit. The sidebar on the left of your screen will allow you to navigate the summit. An overview of the day's events can be found on the lobby page. There is a Q&A function on the right side of your screen. Our panelists and presenters have a lot of content they wish to cover, so opportunity for Q&A may be limited as time permits. During the longer panel sessions, the moderators will call for a short bio break at a good point in the discussion. So thank you for joining us in working towards a more equitable and sustainable local food system in each of our communities. I hope you enjoy the summit.
Good morning. My name is Michael Bish. I'm the Executive Director of Yolo Food Bank. On behalf of the AI Institute for Food Systems, the UC Davis Innovation Institute for Food and Health, and on behalf of Yolo Food Bank, I welcome you to the inaugural Food for Fairness Summit. Over the next 3 days, we'll be exploring 3 questions together. What is an equitable, sustainable local food system? How can it be achieved? And why does global human health, economic and social well-being, and advancement depend upon it now more than ever? But first, I'd like to express my deep gratitude to Congressman John Garamendi, Chancellor Gary May, and the many terrific speakers who have made time to join us in this journey. I'd also like to thank my staff and our vendors for organizing the summit. Before we move on to our talented lineup, I'd like to share a few thoughts. Food banks improve the communities we serve in a multitude of ways, one of which is by cultivating philanthropy and community service. A shining example of this is Bob Smith, our volunteer summit coordinator who led this entire effort and who you just heard from. Bob came to me 9 months ago saying, "Hey, Michael, I had a long career in management and leadership positions. I'm retired, but not yet ready to be put to pasture. I want to give back to the community, and I can't think of a more impactful way than by supporting the work of Yolo Food Bank." And so 9 months later, here we are. Thank you, Bob, for moving this summit from an idea to reality. I'm forever grateful. I'd like to now share a bit about my background. I was raised in the 1960s and 70s in a German immigrant family in San Diego. Fresh, nutritious food was plentiful. We purchased our meats, cheeses, and imported specialty foods from a local German butcher and baker. We had ready access to fresh, locally grown produce and bought our other dairy and staples from nearby grocery stores. As a child, I was not food insecure or even aware that there was such a thing. But I know now that wasn't the case for many other children. Not then, and it's certainly not the case now. Fast forward 50 years or so, I now live, work, and am raising a family in Yolo County, right across the Sacramento River from the capital of the state of California. I'm surrounded by agricultural abundance. We have amazing ag resources here, good soil, good water, although that may be changing, and a Mediterranean climate. We are home to UC Davis, a leading ag research university. We also have superb transportation infrastructure and many other terrific food system assets. And yet, our local food system is incomplete. It is not meeting the needs of many of our residents. We have elevated levels of food insecurity, both before and during the pandemic. Many ag workers earn wages that are insufficient for them to meet their basic needs. We are depleting resources. We are failing to meet our climate change action and adaptation goals. And there are a whole host of equity issues. These are but a few of the weaknesses in our local food system. That's why we are gathered here, to identify the weaknesses, the strengths, and emerging threats and opportunities. Over the next 3 days, questions will be asked and solutions explored. I look forward to following it all unfold. Thank you for joining us. Now on to our talented speakers. See you around the summit.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to help kick off this year's Food for Fairness Summit. First, I'd like to thank our organizers and sponsors. That includes the Yolo Food Bank, the UC Davis AI Institute for Next Generation Food Systems, and the UC Davis Innovation Institute for Food and Health. I'd like to acknowledge Congressman John Garamendi for supporting this event and so many other important efforts at UC Davis and across the state. I also want to thank our distinguished speakers. We're fortunate to have so many experts presenting different perspectives about local food systems. Over the next several days, you'll hear from researchers, food program administrators, farmers, and others. They'll not only inspire you, but they'll suggest actions you can take to help improve local food systems. At UC Davis, we're proud of our agricultural roots. We started out as a small farm school in 1908. Today, our university is ranked among the best in the world in agriculture. We're in the perfect location to extend the benefits of our research to our state and beyond. California is the top agricultural producer in the country. More than 50% of America's fruits and vegetables are grown in California. UC Davis, like our 10 sister campuses throughout the state, is dedicated to food systems and sustainability research. Our faculty are working to improve access to food, combat malnutrition, increase agricultural productivity, and ensure sustainable food systems. We're delighted that UC Davis was selected to house the Artificial Intelligence Institute for Next Generation Food Systems. As the #1 school in the nation for agriculture, it was a logical choice to make UC Davis the home for this unique institute funded by the USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. In partnership with 5 other institutions and with 40 faculty and 40 graduate students, the institute aims to meet growing demands in our food supply. It's working to increase efficiency using artificial intelligence and bioinformatics, spanning the entire food system, from growing crops to nutrition. You can hear directly from the Institute's researchers during the conference. At 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, they'll have a session dedicated to the frontiers of AI and solving grand challenges in the food system. Our UC Davis Innovation Institute for Food and Health is working to address global nutritional challenges and to ensure safe and sustainable access to nutritious food. They've supported research projects focused on reducing energy use and food preservation, assessing the health impacts of wheat varieties, and reducing pesticide use and more. Of course, their first pilot project was a collaboration with the Yolo Food Bank. They used our abundant local produce to create a nutritious, shelf-stable meal that reflects the cultural preferences of food-insecure families in Yolo County. This fully aligns with our values at UC Davis. We value and rely on partnerships with academic, industry, nonprofit, and government institutions. I'm pleased that we have such a strong partnership with the Yolo Food Bank. I'd like to thank Executive Director Michael Bish and their dedicated Board of Directors for their community leadership. Together, we're working to fortify the food system and serve our campus community. The Yolo Food Bank has made a tremendous difference supporting food security throughout our campus community. They work with the ASUCD Pantry and Aggie Compass Basic Needs Center, and they support families at Solano Park. Local food systems in Yolo County and elsewhere are not meeting the needs of their communities. This is only complicated by the impacts of climate change and wildfires. COVID-19 has shown so clearly the kind of impact a global pandemic can have on the food supply chain and on economic health. Livestock, poultry, and dairy production were all impacted, as were many other industries. Food insecurity among our students, which was already an issue, was only heightened. The Food for Fairness Summit is a call to action, building on the movement towards safe, equitable, and sustainable food systems. The summit seeks to foster innovative solutions and greater collaboration among all food system stakeholders. It brings together nonprofit leaders, community organizers, academics, policymakers, business, civic, and governmental leaders to learn from and share best practices for improving food systems, while enhancing the health and wellness of all Yolo County residents. In closing, I want to thank all of you for your commitment to these crucial issues. I applaud your dedication and your passion for ending hunger and making the world a better place.
Hello, this is Congressman John Garamendi. I want to welcome you to this Food for Fairness program that the Yolo Food Bank's putting on. Yes, there is hunger in our community, and for the most part, we don't know that it's there. We're not paying attention. But you have 3 days now in this program to pay attention to one of the most fundamental of all human needs, food. I want to share with you a story. It comes from my daughter. She was a kindergarten teacher. She developed a community garden, school garden, and it just flourished. And she would take her kids out there and they would enjoy the garden. They'd do their gardening. They'd eat the vegetables along the way. School's over. Kids are getting on the bus. Some kid's missing. It's Friday. Where is this kid? What happened to him? He's not on the bus. General panic. Got to go find the kid. Eventually, my daughter went to the school gardens. Underneath the tomato plant, she found the kid. He was stuffing his bag with tomatoes, cucumbers, other crops that were there in the school garden. She asked him, come on, the bus is leaving. You got to get on the bus. He said, just a moment, I got to get some more food. Why? Why, she asked. It's for my sister, my little sister. There's no food at home. This is for the weekend. That's not an unusual story. That is what happens in our community. And this community needs your help. And so I want all of you to dedicate whatever time you're spending on this program to figure out how you, in your business, in your home, in your community, how you can help solve the problem of hunger. So have at it. And I know that you're dedicated. I know that you care as much about this as anybody on the program. But can we solve the problem? We can solve it locally. I've got my work here in Washington to do, and I'll do the best I can, and I know you will too. So thank you. Thank you for participating.
Thank you, Congressman Garamendi and Chancellor May, for those inspiring comments. I truly appreciated them, and I'm sure the attendees did as well. What I'd now like to share with you is a video that we produced about a year ago, so it was 6 months into the pandemic, and it highlights some of the critical partnerships upon which the food bank's work depends. So let's go ahead and run that video now.
My name is Michael. I'm the Executive Director of Yolo Food Bank. It's been a whole year since we had the opportunity to celebrate our wonderful food donors. And what a year it's been. Who would have thought that we'd spend most of it in the middle of a worldwide pandemic and a socioeconomic meltdown? Because of you, though, we have been able to flatten the curve here in Yolo County. We've more than doubled the amount of food that we've been distributing during this pandemic in order to meet the skyrocketing need of our most vulnerable neighbors. Thank you so much for making that happen.
My name is Ernie Roncaroni, President and CEO of Grow West, and on behalf of the over 300 employees here at Grow West, I want to tell you how proud we are to be associated with such a great organization as the Yolo Food Bank. Community investment and community involvement has been a core tenet for us from day one. Having to deal with the COVID pandemic was difficult for us in agriculture for sure, but for those at the Yolo Food Bank, the need for healthy food was incredible. And to see the food bank rise to the occasion has been inspiring for all of us. I'm very proud of the services that the Yolo Food Bank is doing and very proud of our involvement in supporting that. On behalf of Grow West, thank you for the Yolo Food Bank for all the work you did this year, and let's do what we can to end hunger and malnutrition in Yolo County.
Hi, I'm Aline Moreno, and I'm the Yolo Grown Program Coordinator for the Yolo Food Bank. The Yolo Grown Program is a program that is funded through the Yochadihi Wintu Nation tribe. And through this program, we are able to work with local food system partners, such as seed companies and farmers that are willing to donate their excess or grow specifically for Yolo Food Bank. Through this program, we are able to ensure that Yolo County residents in need will continue to have access to fruits and vegetables throughout the year.
At River Garden Farms, an important part of our culture is giving back to our community. Through our involvement With the Yolo Food Bank, we're able to grow crops and know that those crops are going directly back through the food bank's programs to those in need in our community.
And especially during this pandemic right now, a lot more people need it. It's humbling. It's a little bit of pride to be able to help. It's definitely a blessing to be able to be part of that circle to provide food for those that are in need.
Hello, I'm Kate Steele, Chief Impact Officer and co-owner of Nugget Markets. All of us at Nugget Markets are proud to have the opportunity to support the Yolo Food Bank and its efforts to end hunger and malnutrition in Yolo County. Without the food bank and its hardworking staff, thousands of individuals and families, our community would go hungry. The Yolo Food Bank provides all of us with a means in which we can support the most vulnerable populations of our community. Just last year, the food bank worked with our staff at Nugget Markets to expand our food recovery program. This program not only contributes significantly to the needs of the food bank, but allows us as a food retailer to ensure that 100% of our edible food waste is shared with those in need. Unfortunately, food insecurity in Yolo County and our nation will continue to grow during these difficult times. I hope you will join our Nugget Markets family by continuing to support the needs of our community now and into the future.
Hi, my name is Grant Deary, NorCal Beverage Company here in West Sacramento, California. We have been an essential business, so we have been fortunate to continue running through the whole COVID-19 pandemic. But through our community engagement and our philanthropic efforts, we have been networking with great companies like Yolo Food Bank. We are especially grateful to be engaged with such a great organization where we can make a major impact. You know, it's all about family. We're a family-owned company. We are naturally predisposed to be engaged in the local community. So this was an easy decision for us to support an organization that's so directly targeted at helping mitigate the impacts of this pandemic.
Hello, my name is Tom Muller. I'm the president of the Yolo Food Bank Board of Directors. I'd like to thank all of our farmers, and I'm in Dan Best's field right now. He's grown pumpkins and gourds, edible gourds every year for the last few years, and he donates this to the food bank. So I'd like to thank him and all the rest of our farmers that have grown squash this year, donated tomatoes, taken the time to grow a crop and donate it. I'd also like to thank all of the retailers that also donate their food so that we have plenty of food that we can distribute throughout the year. Again, thank you all for everything you do, and it's very, very much appreciated by me and the rest of the board of directors, and it's very much appreciated by the people who use this food. Thank you.